This is Fiona Silver, and you're listening to Jim and Mike Talk Music.
Today we have a special guest with us. She's a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. She's toured with Gary Clark Jr. and has performed with Santana and Gwen Stefani. The Huffington Post said, "From the passion in her voice to delicacy in her strut, she is a force to be reckoned with." Rodney Bingenheimer called her beyond amazing. So let's all welcome the Jim and Mike Talk Music, the amazing Fiona Silver. How are you today?
Why, thank you.
That's quite an intro. Jim's got an intro for you there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. So where are you? Are you in New York?
I am actually in Stamford, Connecticut right now. I'm staying at this really cool recording studio that I'm both helping work at and also making an album in.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you tired of the snow? I mean, you're from New York, right? You're originally?
Yeah. I grew up in New York. It's funny because I feel like this is the first time I've actually enjoyed a winter, because in the city, it just gets disgusting immediately.
Right.
But
brown snow.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've really been able to enjoy just seeing snow in a forest and stuff like that. It's been really beautiful. But now, of course, it's just raining and gross again.
Yeah.
Hold on.
One of you's in Jersey and one's in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah,
That's
I'm in
right.
Jersey.
Yeah, I'm in the Lehigh Valley, Bethlehem.
Cool.
Home of Music Fest.
Oh, yes, that's right. Such a cool place. That was it reminded me of I'm sure people say this all the time, but Pink Floyd and, just those smokestacks are.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Very iconic.
Yeah,
the old stuff.
Yeah, the old, really brightening it up with lights and everything, really making an art scene around that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Jim says you were there. I wasn't there at when was that? You were at Music Fest.
That was,
do you remember?
2 years ago, I think.
Oh, that's recent. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was
all right.
15.
I usually go there every year. I'm about, 30 minutes from there. Mike's he could probably walk there, I think.
Yeah, I can see it when I can see the steel stacks when I just turn my head right there. No, literally, I can.
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like they get a great lineup every year.
Yeah, but I was living in Virginia for 25 years, so I just moved up here a year and a half ago. So I've only been to a music fest a long time ago. Yeah.
Is there a lot of festivals in Virginia though?
Yeah, there's a fair amount. Charlottesville is a great happening city. Richmond's larger, the capital, but we used to go to DC for a lot of stuff. But Charlottesville and Richmond, it's a great scene there. The Walking Mall downtown. Dave Matthews, started there and everything.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I played Richmond once a million years ago, but I really haven't had a chance to explore too much there.
Yeah. It's
I think
cool. People are great. People are just great.
There's that Floyd Fest. Isn't that in Virginia? It's called Floyd Fest.
Right. We were going to go to that, but yeah, it's camping. It's definitely close camping. You got to put all your tents together, and we never made it to Floyd Fest, but that's in Floyd, Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to walk, you have to park, and then you have to walk a ways to get there and pitch.
Oh, yeah. It's huge, like huge rolling hills. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, cool.
So were you born in New York?
Yeah. I grew up like downtown Manhattan and Brooklyn, kind of back. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
And you still live in New York?
I live in East Village. But I've just been, since COVID and everything, I've just been spending more time out of the city, which is nice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are your earliest memories of listening to music? What bands?
Oh my God, to be honest, I have a terrible memory. I'm like borderline Alza. Like I should be worried, but but you know, I'm lucky though. Like my dad had he was like kind of a rocker dude, and like, but he also loved jazz, and so I feel like I grew up listening to really great assortment of music between like, you know, kind of classic like Miles Davis, Billie Holiday, that kind of jazz, and Led Zeppelin, and, you know, classic rock all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, I think those influences, they can get us subconsciously, you know, like as a drummer, I'm a drummer. And so, you know, where do these rhythms come from? And they do come from when you were, you know, 15, and, you know, it's all getting into your head, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was watching the Pace Studios video, 4 songs you did with them, and he interviewed you a little bit. And this was the recent one. I think it's 1 year ago. I think it was March 2020.
Yeah, that was right before we put out Hostage of Love, which is like my most recent EP.
And with that, the mix was great. Jim's got it right there. All right.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
I love this.
So for our listeners, hold that up, Jim. I can't see it.
And then there's a provocative photo on the back.
Oh, yes.
Oh. So you have to explain it for our listeners. She's.
Oh yeah, I'm naked in chain.
She's got her hair on, wearing hair, and a ring. She's wearing a ring. That's it. But for our listeners there, that's that one came out when then? Which so
that came out on Valentine's Day of last year, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Valentine's Day. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before all the stuff started shutting down. Right. Weeks before everything's shutting down. Yeah. Yeah,
it's crazy. Because of just a lot of bullshit that happens, as things sometimes do, scheduling issues, we had to push our EP release party show back until the first week of March. So we ended up having it at Brooklyn Bowl, which was amazing. And it was an awesome show. I had some really talented friends of mine on the bill. And it was a few days later was when everybody was all of a sudden wait a minute, what's this COVID thing? And then the shutdown happened. And so a ton of people were like, your show was the last show I went to. So, which is kind of special. We're really lucky that we were even able to do it, you know?
Did you have a tour planned? I mean, I'm assuming you did plan on playing out.
Yeah. It hadn't been announced yet and solidified, but there were a number of shows booked. And I was going to tour with my friend Kelly Swindle, who's amazing and who was also releasing a new record. And she's a Southern girl. So we were doing I love touring the South anyway, but we were going to do that together, which was, exciting. And it was such a bummer that, of course, we had to cancel all those shows. And I had just ordered all these records. So I have boxes in my apartment of records that were supposed to be for the tour. And, that's
I just bought mine, a couple of weeks ago.
I know. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
So you had CDs and vinyl, or what do you do with, what's the latest with that? What medium are you carrying around?
You know what? I didn't make CDs for this last one. I just did vinyl. My first record I made CDs of, and that was cool. It's tricky because I feel like there's a lot of people who want vinyl because obviously it's a little more special. I feel like CDs a kind of smaller in between margin where people are like, I want to support you, but maybe I don't want to spend that much money. So if if they drive a car that still plays CDs, then maybe they'll do that. But I feel like that's a decreasing market of people.
Well, they're making cars now without, the CD players.
Right, exactly. And so many people just stream Spotify or whatever. So
and more people are, collecting vinyl.
Yeah. I feel like, my music is available online for anybody who wants to listen and they don't have to pay anything, or they can choose. Bandcamp is great. I
was listening to you, and didn't leave the house. I didn't have to buy anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Apple Music,
Yeah. And, that's a great thing. So, I mean, obviously it's twofold. Like the situation for musicians as people trying to make a living is not great. But at the same time, like, I would never want my music to not be available to anyone,
Yeah. I mean, you don't get paid that much though for like Spotify, and that's the sad part. No. Yeah. It's like not even a penny a listen.
Yeah.
Although the one song on your, not the EP, the last album,
Little Thunder. I probably listened to that song like 50 times. So. Which one?
It's Take Me Down.
Oh, Take Me Down. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just love that song.
Thank you. I love that song too.
Mike and I are debating because I've listened to the song, like I said, 50 times at least. So Mike thinks you're saying, because I love the lyrics in this because they're a little bit different. I'm convinced you're saying he left his always behind. And Mike thinks you're saying he left his old ways behind.
That's it. He left his old ways.
Oh, I got it.
You're saying old ways?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As in he's turning over to
right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that, though.
Point for Mike. Hey, Mike, Jim, do the points count?
What? No. What are you talking about?
Nothing.
This should be a game.
We're going to do some music trivia
we got a game.
at the end if you're up for it. I have questions. I wanted to know about the music process, how you go about writing song. Is it a combination of coming up with the lyrics first? Do you have an idea, or do you come up with music, or do you work with the band, or is it, to come up with the song?
Yeah, it's kind of all of those things. I write a lot of little ideas, like scribble ideas down in notebooks, and I love to write poetry. So sometimes songs come from poems and they're just like deconstructed. But usually it's kind of, I'll have like a melody or an idea in my head, and the words and the music will kind of come together. And then I'll expand on it. And I usually just write like on a guitar. Lately I've been trying to learn piano, so I do a little of that.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll bring it to the band and be like, okay, let's work this out
work it
and come
out.
up with parts. Yeah.
Who do you work with closely in the band? I mean, is it with Guy mostly, or the whole band, or how does that work?
Yeah. Guy has definitely been the biggest collaborator for me as like a songwriter, because we've also written songs where he'll just come up with a progression and I'll just start singing over it and writing on top of it. So we've done a lot of that, which is really cool. And it's interesting, of course, to see how different people bring out different things in you as an artist. I feel like, kind of going back to that other question about like early influences and stuff, because I love so many different kinds of music, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I can go in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
So, that's been kind of an interesting, I don't know if I want to say challenge, but it is a challenge really, because when I'm looking at a body of work, like right now, I'm, working on making an album, and I've got 20 songs in different directions. That becomes a part of the process of like.
Or it may be good working with other people too. They may, that shouldn't go there, or this should, and then you're all collaborating as a band and working.
Well, like going back to the interview and 4 songs less than a year ago at Pace Studios, I really loved the song Violence. I mean, musically and vocally, it was just so smooth. And you had the Nevermind horns with you. So, we love jazz, we love funk, of course, rock and roll. And your interviewer there was talking about your musical style and some of your influences. And I thought it was interesting. Because you've got so much there, especially in the song Violence. It's so smooth and so good. It's my favorite from that recording.
Thank you.
But I like the way you ended up with, you like, well, but it's rock and roll.
Yeah.
And, it's like, yeah, but we're still, and that's what brings it together. Because I after listening to that interview, I went and clicked on the studio of your single 2020. And it's so different from that mix that you had at Pace Studios just a half year before it. Yeah. So there's your big continuum of styles right there.
Right. Yeah. Violence is one of my favorite songs that I've ever created. And that was totally one of those examples of like, I wrote that as a poem. And then Guy brought the like funk guitar to it. And I was like, I love this. I want to make like a funky song. And so I just layered the poem on top as lyrics.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, we need a chorus. So then we wrote the chorus, and I was like, okay, I want this really simple drum rhythm, and I want it to be like kind of a different thing. But the way that, of course, all those other musicians, they're so talented, they're able to just, like you said, kind of seamlessly bring it together.
Right. And the syncopation and the drum beat, boom, tip, boom, tip, tip, boom, boom, tip, boom. That's what I love. Yeah, I'd like to hear more of that.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Now,
It makes you move a little bit.
Yeah.
Where did the idea for the song come? You said it was a poem?
Yeah.
But it's
actually kind of a dark story. It's a friend of mine was in an abusive relationship, and I found out. And when she told me, I was like kind of in shock, because I was friends with both, like, this couple, and had no idea that this had been going on. And it kind of opened my eyes to, like, probably how much that happens when people are just not aware, Yeah. Yeah. And I just felt, and I was thinking too, like, some of my other influences, like, everything isn't black and white, of course, and I was thinking about the perspectives of, like, the perspective of that song is from someone who is in some way like the abused, but they don't view themselves that way, they don't see themselves as a victim, and they're kind of like in that, in that sort of negative pull towards that. And
because they're in the middle of it. Yeah. I think we can see from the outside sometimes, and they're in the middle of it. Exactly.
So I just thought that was something I wanted to sort of write about and get into.
You're up in Connecticut right now, hiding away somewhere. So you're, don't want to get personal, but you're with the band, or you're not, you're on your own without the band?
It's kind of a combination. I came here with Guy. Guy was actually here before me, and he brought me here. He was brought here by Brian Duke, who's an awesome drummer. And then we started collaborating, the three of us together. And my bass player, Steve, came in for a few sessions, just like we'd like get a chunk done. And then, he'd go because he was quarantining himself. Yeah. But yeah, well, great. It's been a cool.
Sounds like a great atmosphere. You got to have a creative atmosphere. You know that, and you're making that work. Yeah. How's it? What's exciting with the new album?
What's exciting with it?
Like music. How about musical style? Which way are you headed? But you just said that you had a big variety.
Yeah, it's to be determined. But I think you'll be pleased to know that there is a kind of upward beat trajectory happening.
Gotcha.
Because, so we recorded that song 2020 here at the studio back in maybe June, actually. And that was kind of the height. Maybe one could say the height, but it was certainly when it felt like, wow, like the pandemic is still happening, like full throttle. Protests were happening every single day. Yeah. Breonna Taylor had been killed. All these other people, there was a lot, all the Trump stuff. It just felt like there was a lot going on. And I felt like as an artist, I've read a lot. I never thought too much about the sense of like social responsibility necessarily as an artist, but I feel like maybe it was a Nina Simone quote or something. I can't remember, but I remember reading something where it had said like the responsibility of an artist is to reflect their times in a way. And I don't know that I fully agree with that, but something about that struck a chord in me. And I felt like, yeah, I want to reflect what's going on here. I want to be a part of, any kind of, I don't know if solution, but like, I want to have a voice in this. I want to speak out against what I think is wrong. And I want to stand up for what's right. And I want to just say like, wow, this is happening. Like,
yeah, you want to scream.
Go by.
Makes you want to scream. Yeah.
Yeah.
And bring awareness. Yeah. Bring an awareness of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Something to ponder, the responsibility or not responsibility of an artist. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so that because of what was going on and what was influencing that song, which was just real life in real time, rather than what I think a lot of my other music is, which is kind of this like emotional or cerebral, like timeless kind of things of love, heartbreak, whatever, this was very much like, this is right now. And I think that's part of why that song came out widely different, because I wanted it to be really heavy and I wanted it to be like jarring,
That's probably the most heaviest song that you've written.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Smoking Gun, which is the last song on Little Thunder, is kind of heavy, but yeah, 2020 is heavier.
And Sick of Being Good, that has kind of a gritty sound to it. But those two songs remind me it's something maybe that could be in a Quentin Tarantino movie, especially Smoking Gun.
Thank you. I love Quentin.
Yeah. And speaking of Smoking Gun,
Jim, speaking of the guns.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about your outfit or some of your outfits. I really think you have great fashion sense, especially your videos. Are these outfits that you own, or like where do you get a bodysuit with a gun pattern on it? That's what I'm curious about.
Actually, yeah, I do. Most of this stuff is stuff that I own. Okay. That was made by this really cool designer named David Dalrymple, who he is kind of like the head designer for Patricia Field back in the day. And now he, I think, just does his own stuff, but he designs for a ton of like drag queens and like really just makes like really cool costumes. And he just had that lying around. And I was like, oh, I love that. And he was like, oh, you can have it.
And it fit you.
And it worked. And it worked.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back to the venues. Is there any particular place that you've played that you just love to play? Like as far as maybe even the city or just the atmosphere of the crowd?
Yeah. That's such a great question. I feel like there's so many different, I have so many different answers in my head right now. The first thing that came to mind was playing at Mohawk in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
The vibe in Austin is just really great. I feel like people in LA and New York are a little more like standoffish and like a little more like afraid to look uncool, which I think is a real bummer. And I think that I've seen that change a little bit too over time. I think
the scene crowds that are talking through the performance. I had that happen.
Like they don't care. Yeah.
Well, when I went to see BB,
that'll happen. Sorry, go ahead.
I went to see BB King at the House of Blues years ago, but there was a bar on the left and a bar on the right. And I think it was because they gave complimentary tickets too. So it's like, hey, we're not doing anything tonight. And
right.
But everybody was
drink.
Everybody, they had like a row of 10 rows of seats in the middle, and we were standing, but everybody's talking, and it was just,
that sucks, especially for such a legend. Like,
oh yeah. Like, they didn't realize who they were saying, but
That's crazy. I mean, at a rock show, like you don't even hear when people are tight. It's like not a problem. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're so loud.
So the Austin crowd, they seem more genuine. Like you said, they could look not cool. What was about? I've not been to Austin.
It's not that they didn't look cool. Like what I mean is that their spirit was more free, and that they just didn't have that sort of like barrier of pretense. But part of that also, of course, is that when I played that show, I was opening up for Andrew WK, who is such a force, and his energy is so wild. Yeah. And so the people who are drawn to him specifically are people who just like really want to have fun. And
Mike, do you know who that is?
Cool.
Really
do you know who that is?
No.
Okay.
All I know is he wrote this party song.
Hard.
Yeah, Party Hard.
Party Hard. It was like a bit, so it's like kind of it's like almost kind of a joke.
Yeah.
But it's not. He's like a genius and kind of like a motivational speaker. And it's a very interesting combination of different things going on. Yeah, I've never seen so many people crowd surf in my life. And like,
wow, it's still happening. It's still happening.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Now, is that at South by Southwest, or was that just somewhere else in Austin?
No, that was just during, I was on tour and he was on tour, and I knew him. So I asked him if I was like, hey, look, our tours are kind of coinciding in Austin. Like, could I hop on your show and be your opening act? And I was fortunate that he said yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I have a place you should play. It's Sellersville Theater. It's in Sellersville,
Where's
Pennsylvania. Sellersville, Pennsylvania. It's 40 minutes south of Bethlehem. But it only seats about 200 people. So it's not a big area, but I think it's a converted movie theater.
Ooh, cool.
It's halfway between here and Philly, so you do get some, between Philly and Lehigh Valley, you'll get people going, even more so than probably around the theater. Yeah.
Awesome. I used to go see the Smithereens.
Jim coming from New Jersey.
The Smithereens played there. I used to see the Smithereens there all the time. You know, the Smithereens. They're a Jersey band.
Yeah.
But Howard Jones has played there. Graham Parker. But they'll have jazz, blue, different types of bands. I saw Lisa Marie Presley there when she was touring. That's a nice little venue.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope that I hope all those venues survive this crazy situation.
Right.
Have you toured in other countries or just mainly?
Sadly, no. I would love to. I'm dying to do that. I was actually supposed to tour in Germany this past November, but of course that got canceled. And the only other country, I played 2 shows in Canada with Gary.
That's part of the U.S., isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it is. It was in Toronto, which is awesome. I had never been there. And then I've played 1 show in London, but other than that, just
when was that? 2019 or Toronto?
The London show?
The Toronto.
Toronto was 2018, I think. Yeah.
I think we were there in 2019. We drove.
Yeah, I thought you were there.
We drove up through Buffalo and just went, Lake Erie, went to Toronto, Montreal, big road trip.
Cool. Yeah.
So, sounds cool. Yeah, Montreal's cool too. I haven't played there, but I've been there.
Is there a timeline for your album, or are you just kind of, because of COVID still going on, you're just pacing it? There's no real...
Yeah, I'm just taking my time with it. Like you said, there's COVID happening, so there's definitely no pressure. Which is interesting because I'm not signed to a label or anything. I don't have anyone telling me I have to get something done by any time anyway. But just from my own drive or whatnot, I would definitely have finished this if COVID wasn't happening. Yeah, it's cool. It's been cool just to actually learn to chill out a little more. And, it's been cool to get some distance from things and be like, okay, I could reapproach this. And
have you finished any songs? Like, do you have any songs complete? Have you recorded any like songs completely?
I'm not really sure how to answer that because yes, and also everything's still in process of. I've recorded a lot of songs completely, and then been like, okay, and now we're gonna add this, and we're gonna add that, and then we're gonna go back and actually rework this, and so it's really been a big process.
Or maybe you'll release them as singles first, or a couple singles before.
Well, I released 2020. And I also released a song called Love Push Number 9, which is a cover of an old 50s song. And that was fun because we actually had Dennis Dunaway, who's the original founding member and bass player of Alice Cooper Band.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. And we did a music video together, and it was like a fun thing for Halloween.
Yeah, I love that video. I've met Dennis. There's an autograph show.
Great guy.
There's an autograph show in Parsippany, New Jersey. Chiller Theater, it's called. So it was a couple years ago, and I bought his book. He has a book on, his time in the Alice Cooper Band. So actually, all the guys were there except Alice, but the entire Alice Cooper Band was there. So
that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, I haven't met the others. I just get the sense that they're a very tight-knit crew, and obviously they've known each other for a million years, so he's such a positive. And his wife Cindy, who I didn't know before I met her, she's like sister to the old drummer, and also their costume designer, and was like a big part of toured with them, did stuff with them, and so it's a family affair, and everybody's like just really cool.
Now you toured with Gary Clark Jr. That was 2019. How many shows did you do with him?
Yeah, well, we did a tour in 2018. And so that was which included those shows in Canada. And then he asked me back again we did 4 nights in San Francisco at the Fillmore. And that's when I met Santana. And then we also did another 2 nights at the Beacon Theater in New York.
I saw him with Dave he opened for Dave Matthews. It was like 2012. I think he might have just come out with his first album. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So I saw him open.
Yeah.
I don't know how often he pulls someone up on stage, play, but I don't know if you were there or if you've seen this video, but I just watched it last night. There's a kid.
Yeah, I just watched it too. Yeah.
He's 18 years old, and I guess it was his birthday. And he was holding up a sign, and Gary Clark pulls him up on stage, and he says to him, because he wants to play guitar with him, and he says to him, you better not F this up. So and he puts on the guitar.
He looks like he's 2 foot taller. He looks like he's taller than the kid.
Oh, Gary's pretty tall. He's like 6'4".
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Gary.
And it was Catfish Blues, old blues song. But Gary, it was incredible because Gary's singing, but Gary's he's letting the kid play, and he's hard.
Yeah.
He's letting the kid lead. He's doing a rhythm, and he's letting the kid lead. Yeah. And
he was incredible, this kid. He knew what.
That's amazing. I think that's a real gift of someone like him and other artists that I've seen. I've seen Stevie Wonder do that. Some people who are like the most prolific.
Be generous,
Yeah. Be really generous and share space and have really no ego and just be really encouraging. It's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Mike?
No, Jim. I think you got a bonus question though.
Oh yeah.
It was a mystery question, but then it's not too much mystery to
This is
Jim.
just a random question. You have to pick a number between 1 and 7.
Okay.
So what's your number?
Then tell you?
Yeah, tell me the number.
6.
6.
And you get that question number 6 then. Yeah.
Okay.
Here it goes.
If you could transport yourself in time and go in another person's body for one day,
oh my God,
who would it be?
Wow, that's so loaded. I don't know. I feel like Well, I'll tell you the first thing that came to mind.
Mhm.
The first thing that came to mind, of course, was Jimi Hendrix.
No,
Because
we were talking about this last
Jim
night,
just
and we
guessed that
mentioned
last
Jimi
night.
Hendrix.
No way.
well, it's the obvious. I mean, for any kind of like
But for you to
rocker,
Yeah.
it's like it's just the most
That is-
obvious choice. I think he's so like incredible, and I can't imagine being in his brain and having his talent, and you know.
I probably can guess the day.
I cannot believe that.
I could probably guess
you guessed that.
the day that you would want to be in his body.
Oh yeah, when would that be?
Well, during Woodstock. No?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Can't believe it. I can't believe she guessed 6 and then said Jimi Hendrix.
That's so funny.
Oh man, that is amazing.
But there's so many.
That is
I
insane.
mean, I can't imagine
Yeah.
being like Amelia Earhart and like taking flight.
yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot
yeah.
of cool
yeah.
things that could happen.
Yeah, you might want to choose her first day of the flight, not her last.
Yeah, not the
Yes.
day she
Just saying.
Okay.
Okay, one more thing, and we're gonna let you go. But Jim's got something special here. We do this with all our interviewees, probably the last half dozen.
I can see the smoking gun. I can hear the screaming cat. I can feel the ringing hum.
We're going to do some music
Something like
trivia.
that.
Now, there's no
Uh-oh.
prizes. Sorry. But if you get the question right, you'll hear this. You hear that?
Mhm.
If you get it
Yeah.
wrong, oh, where is it?
I feel I'm going to be hearing a lot of that.
Okay. But I made these. This is out of a trivia game, MTV. Normally, I just ask the question, but some are. It depends on what you know, whether they're easy or hard. But I made these.
Well, I insisted on it. I insisted on a change, Jim, because you're asking me like in 1989 who hosted the MTV Music.
Oh my God, I don't know that.
So then there's that silence.
Yeah.
Like,
So I made these multiple choice.
multiple
So
choice.
there's a chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fiona, you go first. In the late 70s, Madonna moved to New York with $35, and she took a job working where? Was it A, Dunkin' Donuts, B, McDonald's, C, Macy's, or D, Museum of Modern Art?
Damn, I wish I knew that. I'm gonna
You're going to know in a minute.
Macy's.
Yeah. It was Dunkin' Donuts.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, what duo
Yeah.
has had more number one hits than any other duo in the rock and roll era? Was it A, Jan and Dean,
Mhm.
B, the Everly Brothers, C, Hall and Oates, D, the Righteous Brothers?
That is tough. I do not know that.
You got to guess one.
Yeah, the Everly Brothers. Don't tell me Hall and Oates. Don't tell me
Hall and Oates. It was Hall and Oates.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know
Fiona.
if that seems right.
Oh, this might be an easy one.
Going with my gut next time.
You might not even need the multiple choice on this. Who
Yeah,
claimed?
try it without. Hey. Hey.
Wait
Two
a minute, let's
points.
hear the question first.
2 points if she gets it without the multiple choice. One. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Who claimed "You Gotta Have Faith" in 1987?
George Michael.
You got 2
I know
points.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, in 1991, Guns N' Roses released a cover of what Wings song? Was it A, Live and Let Die? Was it B, Band on the Run? C, Jet? Or D, Getting Closer?
I have to go with my gut. A.
Okay. At one
Yeah.
point, Live and Let Die? Okay.
Yeah. I
Fiona?
forgot about that. Yeah.
Now, we always have to have a Bon Jovi question because we don't
Yeah.
like Bon Jovi. So we always have to mention them,
Oh, come on.
Nice.
even though we're from Jersey. Bon Jovi's everywhere.
Wait a minute, I have to ask you something real quick. Have you heard of the podcast Your Favorite Band Sucks?
No.
No, I just saw the shirt.
Oh my God. You got to check it out. That's all I'm going to say.
Writing it down.
Okay.
Writing it down.
Is there a Bon Jovi one?
For sure. Yeah.
Well, he's everywhere here. I hear him in the grocery store. I usually don't listen to the radio, but I literally got in my car the one day and drove like a couple blocks and put the radio on, and Bon Jovi was on. You know, it's just He's
and he has come to you at the grocery store too. You said,
yeah, in the shower too, because I have a radio in there.
Can't get away.
No. Okay. Fiona, John Bon Jovi turned down the lead role in what successful 80s Kevin Bacon film so that he could concentrate on music? You want the multiple choice?
All right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. A, Diner, B, Tremors, C, Footloose, or D, Quicksilver?
This is probably wrong, but just because it'd be really funny, I'm going to say Footloose.
That is right.
Oh my God. Hey. I feel like it would have been better with Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
And then he would not have concentrated on the music, and we wouldn't be.
It would be a win-win, really.
Yeah.
What could have been?
Oh, I was keeping score, and then I gave up. What's the score?
Fiona has 3. Yeah, Fiona has 3, and you have 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Mike. Okay, here we go. Duran Duran got their name from a villain in what Jane Fonda movie? Now, I knew this answer because my wife is a big Duran Duran fan.
And I'm not.
Now, remember, I made up these multiple choice here. Is it A, Cat Ballou? If I'm saying that right. B, Spirits of the Dead. C, Barbarella. Or D, The Game Is Over?
I have to go with A.
No.
Is it Barbarella? That'd be amazing.
Yes, it's Barbarella.
Oh my God.
Give her a point. Go ahead.
Okay.
She just pulled it out there.
Okay.
No, you stumbled. You stumbled on A, which means you shouldn't have made that up because you stumbled on it. That should have been the one that was given to you, the right answer.
Well, I'm tricking you.
You go.
No, I said, am I saying that right? No, I said, because is it Cat Ballou? I don't know what the. That's what I.
Yeah, I know. Well, you didn't stumble. I know, but I'm saying you didn't say it right, and so you
tried to use your psychology on him,
and I lost.
Okay, calm down. There's no prize.
We got one more for.
There's no prizes.
Is there one more for each, or is that? Yeah. Is it one more for each?
2 more here. Well, I'll make this quick. Okay, because Fiona's got to get back to recording.
Yeah.
Okay, Fiona. In 1984, he had an infatuation and claimed, "Some guys have all the luck." You want the multiple choice?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't need multiple choice.
Okay.
She doesn't need multiple choice in that. Some guys have all the luck. Some guys have all the.
I know. I can hear it in my head, but I can't think of what it is. Give me the multiple choice.
Okay. A, Corey Hart. B, Rod Stewart. C, Tom Jones. Or D, Vanilla Ice.
It's Rod Stewart, right?
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it. I forgot about this one.
Hey, is it?
Okay. Wu-Tang member Big Baby Jesus was formerly known as ODB. What did ODB stand for?
Oh, I know this.
ODB.
Oh, crap. Go ahead. ODB.
Okay.
Acronym. Go ahead.
A, Old Debonair Baby. B, Old Dirty Bastard. C, Old Desirable Bachelor. Or D, Only Drink Beer.
No, it's got to be Old Dirty Bastard. It has to be.
Okay, got it.
Nailed it.
You don't get too many nicknames with the word desirable in it,
right?
So you stupid desirable. I mean,
Debonair Baby. Okay.
Debonair. That was my favorite, actually.
Yeah, debonair.
Okay, Fiona. Tom Petty, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and Bob Dylan made up what group?
Oh my God. Okay, give me the multiple choice. I know it, but I can't think of it.
A, Lady Antebellum.
Lady A.
B, Kiss. C, the Traveling Wilburys. Or B, Blues Traveler.
Mm-hmm. Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
Very good.
But fun fact, do you know Lady Antebellum stole the name Lady A from this like old soul singer?
Oh, really?
And it was like a whole thing. Did you guys hear about that?
Their name?
Yeah, they changed their name, except when they did that, this lady was like, hey, I've like had this name for like decades. And she's like an activist and all this thing.
Yeah.
And it was just so ironic because they were trying to do it to like be more racially sensitive. But then they literally just like took this chick who actually was an activist in the community's name.
And stole her name.
I was like,
did they give her any money? Did they end up giving her any money?
I don't think so. No, they were just horrible.
That is funny
because you can go on,
we can only hope that
you can go on Google and find out, like, does anyone else have this name? It's real simple, right?
Yeah
Before you go and change your name. Okay.
Little name thing, I gotta say this. So here in the Lehigh Valley back in the 80s there was a
let me ask you the last question here, and then we'll
okay, then I want to say about another Fiona, and we'll bring it to you.
Who is she?
All right.
Okay. Mike, what ex-go-go wanted to make heaven a place on earth with her first #1 solo hit?
Belinda Carlisle.
Okay. There we go.
All right, got it.
Okay.
Good work.
So I didn't end up keeping score, but I think you got me by a couple there. Did you keep score, Jim?
Yeah.
All right.
We both win nothing. Okay, wait. So Fiona?
So Jim and I grew up around the Lehigh Valley, the New Jersey PA border here, and there was Fiona Flanagan, and she was singer, songwriter, and she got regionally known, locally of course, then regionally, and Jim, she was in what's her fame? What's her highest fame there? Fiona Flanagan.
Well, she was in a movie with Bob Dylan, Hearts of Fire.
Wow.
And she did a solo. You have to look this up on YouTube. It's a song with Kip Winger, but it's totally it was the 80s. You got to see this video. So it's Fiona.
Okay.
There's a band.
Fiona Flanagan.
And he had a band Winger. Right, but he has the band Winger, right?
Yeah, he had the band Winger.
Yeah. But anyway, what I bring it up for is we're following music all the way back in the 80s and following it closely, alternative and everything before it had a genre name. And so this person writes into the local newspaper berating her for no reason. And it was short, and I still remember it. And he ends it with, Fiona Flanagan, what a stupid name. That can't be real. She must have made it up. I'll still never forget it, and it's decades ago. Why would you do that? Why would you do
First of all, she's clearly just a nice Irish girl. Okay.
Yes, she is. She's a nice Irish girl, Irish Catholic, and it's so interesting. And her real name and her given name was Fiona Flanagan. I just read that and thought, wow, people are just idiots for no reason. They're just mean for no reason. And for some reason, it was so dumb that it stuck with me. So anyway, there's another Fiona, and the other Fionas are all around too. Not here and there, not all around, but they're here and there. Yeah.
Fiona Apple, of course, big, amazing inspiration for sure.
Yeah.
I know what Mike really wants is your real last name, Silver.
It is.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm a nice Irish Jewish girl.
Because Mike said, we were talking last night, and he said he never heard that surname. And then I was thinking of Phil Silvers. It was Silvers with, an S, but real name.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've met some other people with the last name Silver, actually.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's a cool name, though, to be born with.
Thank you.
Yeah. That is cool. Hey, it's been great meeting you virtually. Been great hearing your stories and hearing what inspires you and what you've been doing.
Had a good
Great
time.
meeting you too. Fun podcast.
Great.
I hope to
It's
see
good,
you live.
good laughing and playing again.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys too. Remind me, what's that venue called again?
Sellersville.
The theater?
Sellersville.
Theater. I'm going to look
I'll message you the name.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice small venue. Yeah. All right, take care. Great to meet you.
All right, you too. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Best wishes.
I took my troubles down the mountain road. You know that gypsy with the gold cap too. She's got a pad down on 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of love potion number 9.
Exit music by the band 99%.
Today's show was produced and edited by Jim Thatcher. You can find Jim and Mike Talk on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and their host site, Podbean.
The songs Nightclubbing, Violence, Take Me Down, 2020, Smoking Gun, and Love Potion number 9. Used with permission from Fiona Silver.